Hey guys, it's your Gay Sports Fanatic here. We're taking a look at the NCAA Final Four. The season is, after this long season, it's finally over. So we're at the Final Four and the National Championship game. So I'm going to call the two games this Saturday, and then I'm going to tell you who I think the national champion is. Now, I've left this SEC flag up here because they got two teams in the Final Four. Had they gotten one, this would have come down. I thought they might get three going in, but obviously Houston and Duke had something else to say about that. So that leads me to the first game of the tournament. Actually, it's a late game on Saturday, and that is Houston up against Duke. And this is really a battle of the dynamic duo at Duke, which is of course Cooper Flag and Nipple. I mean, these two, if they're on, and by on I mean like playing nine out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10, then Duke has this one. And I hate to go with the consensus because everybody's going with Duke. Everybody's saying, who will be Houston first, and then who's next to get beat by Duke. So, but I have to say, if these two are on, these two guys, NBA lottery picks, they could be in the NBA right now, playing and contributing. But instead, they're gunning for a national title. So again, they're on. Everybody else is out. Okay, but let's look at Houston for a second here. They've got a wild card against Duke. The Duke has not faced all year, and that is defense. Houston has the number one defense in the nation. Duke has not, this is particularly true during the regular season. Duke was not tested during the regular season in any real way. And when they were a couple times, they lost because it was early on. But so that's the contrast here is Duke with their dynamic duo. If they're not stopped, it's over. Can Houston, with the best defense in the nation, at least slow them down? Because Houston has also been red hot from the three. They've been about 40% in the NCAA tournament. If they can slow these guys down and continue that 40% rate shooting percentage from three, they're going to win this game. Okay, Houston will win this game. And if people think that's crazy, it's not, because there have been bigger upsets than this. Houston is a 5.5 point underdog to Duke. I like Houston in the points. I'm going to go even further and say that Houston's defense, I'm going to say they're going to continue that shooting percentage from the three. Give me Houston to move on to Monday night. Next, we have Florida and Auburn, an SEC rematch. Florida is so streaky to me. I mean, obviously they're here; they deserve to be here. But if they go on these streaks and they go away, they go on streaks. They'll reel off 14 points before you come back from the bathroom. Auburn, on the other hand, has the most talent, I think, next to Duke, of any pure talent of any team in the country. Said it all year long. They finished the season terribly. They haven't really looked, to me, awesome in this tournament either. But I believe that Broome will really wreak havoc on this Florida defense. And I think that will be the key to the game. So Auburn, who is a 2 point underdog, I like Auburn to win this. So yes, you're hearing it right. I'm taking the two underdogs to move on to the national title game on Monday night. So I don't know how many people are doing that. I will say this though. Well, let me give you the winner of the national title game, in my opinion. So I've got Auburn going against Houston, and I'm going to keep banking on Houston and that defense and their continued hot shooting from the threes to win a close game. So I'm taking Houston and a squeaker over Auburn. Houston gets the national title. So memories of Phi Slamma Jamma 40 years ago or so. Although they never won the national title, by the way. I want to throw that in. They lost 2 championship games in a row. Anyway, Houston, I'm saying a real unconventional pick. I'm taking Houston to do this, okay? Now, I want to add something else, though. I think the national championship game is this Duke-Houston game. So I'm going to put a caveat in here. Whoever wins Duke and Houston will win the national title. So if I'm wrong, and Duke goes on to the national title game, they will beat either Florida or Auburn. I think that's to me, the national title game, again, is Duke and Houston. So you guys, there's how I see it. So feel free to comment, to like. Of course, always subscribe if you want to see these little shows that I do. So you guys, thanks for joining, and we will enjoy these games this weekend. It's the Final Four next to the Super Bowl and college football playoff. This is one of the best single days in sports, along with the championship Sunday in the NFL when the conference championship games are back to back, AFC and NFC. I think that's my favorite day. Final Four is right there at maybe number 2. So you guys enjoy it. We'll talk to you later.